Well, let's try this again. Um, asked the family to try to stay off the internet as much as we could, so that way we can um, maybe make this kind of successful. Even though there ain't nobody here yet, that's fine. We'll get there. If you watched the video the other day on the that I posted up this morning, I did finish the wing. We'll save a little bit more of this for when people start to join, but yeah. So now it's time to get the ailerons done. Sorry about that. Oh, somebody's here. So we're gonna go ahead and finish covering the. If you watch the video that I posted this morning, I got the wing all finished, and the next thing to do is to cover the ailerons. Oh, one thing I almost forgot to do. I like to, when I get done covering one surface, I'll go ahead and find my hinges here where they're supposed to be at. That way there's no guesswork. There. There. Okay. There's the right one. I thought I marked these. I guess I didn't. Did I not even hinge this side? I did getting ahead of myself here, I guess. There it is. Hopefully I can feel where they're at. Oh, somebody left us already. Where did I do? Oh. No, that's it right there. There it is. There. I just want to make sure we got everything ready to go before we cover everything up. Yeah. I need one more here. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's why I didn't. This side is hard as a rock. Okay. These are those tools from Dubro that they sell for putting these pin hinges, flat hinges in. They're a little thicker than normal hinges. I don't have the tool holder for them yet, but I'm kind of planning on it. I got this guy. It's got a little pick to it. You can go in here and makes them a little easier to put in as opposed to just using a number 11 because they are quite a bit thicker than a CA hinge. I usually have a pair of pliers that I attach to these things, but I'm not exactly sure where they want. This works. You can see the stuff here coming out. I forgot to hinge the left arrow on. There we go. It's probably pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the. If you ain't seen the video this morning, I did get this covered. Whoever just joined us. Anyways, what I was saying on the video this morning is I like to do the small stuff first. When you're covering stripes, and then do the bigger ones after. That's pretty good. I should have just put it on to begin with. I can line up the diagonals on it. Oh, come on. Oh, I know what I did. Tedious work with these hinges. There we go. I'll be right back. I'm going to see if I can't find those. There they are. Right in front of my damn face. back. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fun. Anyways, we are going to start covering the air lawn here. I'm not sure exactly where we left off. This stupid internet connections. This is the top. We'll do the bottom first. Okay. Oh, line up the other side. Not really. Okay. Don't have to worry about wrapping this one, so I'm going to cut it real close. Okay. There's red. I think I have some blue cut out here somewhere. It's 2 inches wide or so. This might work here. Yep. Looks right. That looks right. trying to do the bottom first and then the top. Hello. Covering the air on right now. Getting a few in here. Okay. Now we can move on to the silver. We'll do the bottom first. Kind of marked it out, and then I don't really care if I get it in one piece. I'm just trying to get this lined up. Need to cut and straight edge out on us. Tell you what, it's getting warm in here. Okay. Then I can line this side back up with this. Well, plenty of overlap, and you won't hardly see it. There we go. Hey, there's everybody. Okay. Okay. Nothing wants to cut it. There we go. Okay. I got this one left. I think I got them marked pretty well here. How wide does that need to be? Inch and 3/4. Probably don't need that big of a piece. That. Okay. Then I'll cut. This little guy, I'm just going to eyeball it. That's two. Sometimes these little pieces are the hardest ones to get. Like that. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Not too bad. can get it up there. That looks respectable. On the top, we'll just rinse and repeat on it. Silver. Oh. That's really close. That'll be fine. Let's get a pencil mark here. I don't think that's enough to cut off. I think we're good. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. Next one. This thing's a triangle, so I can just keep pulling until I get the right angle of the dangle here. A little more. And make sure I got enough there. Like that. I don't like this. I think I need to cut it right about there. Yeah. I'll try it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and slice open our points here and see if it'll wind up it is. Should be right here at the end. Heck yeah. That looks nice. I like the contrast between the two colors. So, make sure that's going to move okay. Yep. It'll loosen up a little bit. There you go. That's probably way more throw than I need. Okay. And my arrow one. Hey, where are you? Probably right in front of my face. Yep, right in front of my face. Isn't that the way it always works? Right in front of your face. Okay, so this is the top. We need to mark the literally the same thing all over again. It's just that's right here. Let's see if we can get this one to slide in together. Maybe we can. Be just a little more accurate here. Okay. For now, I'll have to probably gonna have to clean this last one up. It's not wanting to cooperate. Clean the balsa wood out of it anyways. Right. So, yeah. Mark this bottom. Oh, I just got it. Okay. All right. Whoa. Hey. Well, if the internet's going to go, it's going to happen now. Yes, on. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's move on to the silver here like we did the other side. It's pretty damn close. Okay. I just barely see the pencil marks on here. Okay. Come on. Fine. Okay. Not bad. Get this other one. I think I'm just going to go with that. That's pretty close. Such a lively audience today. What are you guys up to today? Having fun yet? You seen in the forecast that snow was a possibility by Thursday. Fall summer got all of it. Okay. Top. It's damn near right on top of it. Right on the edge. Okay. So we're better not do it that way. Try this one. Maybe I won't waste so much. This it is just what it is. Oh, thank God the heater finally shut off. I was starting to sweat. Okay. Hmm. I don't want that part over. Let's see. If I put it, I don't turn that off, that's going to land right there, and that'll drive me nuts. I know it doesn't look very bad on camera, but because they're both kind of the same color, but I bet out in the sun it makes a damn difference. So, literally going to take that little piece off, and that'll clean my bottom side up. I can see a difference in that. Definitely darker. The same back here. There we go. Okay. You're gonna live with that. Hey, for such a simple coding machine, it sure is time consuming. Okay, next step is to knife, like kind of like violer, knife. There's that. I gotta do one more test fit, and then we can grab some 15-minute epoxy and get these hinges installed. Maybe. Remember I said this one I thought needed cleaned up a little bit, so when I go in there and I'm just wiggling the knife around in the slot there, kind of chiseling away at the ball sword to make some room for it. So it'll go in straight like that. No. No. Oh, missed it. Start over. There we go. I just want to see what it looks like and make sure we ain't got nothing else to do. That one's off a little bit. That's okay. This one's really off. I kind of figured it would be. So fix that. So don't go off the knife on your foot. Annabelle. So to fix that, we'll just trim a little that's going to be an eyesore to me. And I'm literally just, the knife's not going to really cut it. I like to use my straight blades on this stuff. There's Annabelle. Come here, Dave.
And David.
We got some visitors. This might wake them up a little bit. Wake up. Hi, Dave.
Can I watch a movie?
You gotta ask Debbie.
She told me to ask you.
I don't care.
Because you're on live.
Okay, here you go.
David.
Let me get back to work.
Okay.
Okay, watch it.
Yeah.
You know he doesn't like to stay in here very long.
Have fun.
Yeah, love you. Nope, they didn't wake up. Maybe not. This is gonna might have to cover that up. I think we will. It's not that far out of whack. Let's see how the bottom is. And that bottom is almost perfect. Yeah. I don't know. Probably won't see it from the air. Okay. Pretty happy with that. Looks like we got plenty of movement up and down. Okay. So next thing, I think, except for the tail feathers, that's going to conclude covering. So now what I'm going to do is take all this apart. I want the hinges in the arrow on, not. We're back. Yep. Okay. We're back. Lost everybody. Anyways, before I was interrupted there, so these are the hinges I'm using. Now, if you watched the video, there we go, we're getting you back. If you watch the video, what you don't glue your hinges in from a couple years ago, I usually pin these in. Good things about that is that when you put a toothpick through the center here between the holes, you're not going to pull that hinge out. So, been doing that for a long time and then never had one fail. Bad part about it is you're going to see the toothpick. You'll see it when you drill the hole through the covering and all that. You can mitigate that a little bit by going through the bottom. And I usually just CA my pins in. You can usually mitigate that a little bit by using a depth gauge or whatever and not going all the way through. I think it's a little weaker that way because you're not going through two pieces of wood, especially if you got sheeting and a leading edge spar there. The reason why I'm not doing that on this wing is because it's foam and I don't want to put any CA near that foam wing. And I don't want to risk when I put my toothpick in being on the seam between the leading edge and the foam. Put some CA in there, and then all of a sudden I ain't got no holding surface anymore because the foam has disappeared. So yeah, so these are going to be installed the correct way, which that's not an incorrect way of doing it. The holes here fill up with epoxy, and then they glue themselves in pretty good. You can pull these out if they're glued in the right way with epoxy by just heating that whole surface up. And usually the epoxy, no matter how old it is, will get gummy, and you can literally rip these things right out of there. That's what we did on this one. That's why I didn't have to do any hinge slotting on the wing because I'm reusing the old pockets. So just a couple of things with these hinges. On a plane like this, I would normally use CA hinges, but again, because of the foam, I don't want to put CA near it. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I was going to use 15. Just going to go ahead and use 30 minutes because I'm not in that big of a hurry. and I'll get a little better penetration with the 30. I don't think this thing will ever come back apart again. I shouldn't say ever, but you know, I should say I don't think it'll ever get a second or third restoration again, unless something bad happens. Which, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. This is welcome to RC. I don't think I've ever talked to you before. Me and my dad built this back in 1988. I was 8 years old. Yeah, helicopters are cool. I can fly them. I don't like them. Let's see. So I need that, and I need a piece of wood to mix some epoxy up with. There's usually a piece of scrap laying around here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, this is its first restoration, so I'm can't wait to get it back in there. It's been 3 years since I've flown it. Oh, we'll mix up some 30-minute epoxy here. I don't, on my D-bro hinges, I don't see it or put any, pretty even. I don't put any oil on my hinges. I'll just come by every few hours or so and flux them, and that usually keeps the hinges from over curing. Probably mix way too much up here, but that's all right. Anyways, I'm just going to dip some in here. You don't need a lot. Probably put a little too much on there, actually. I don't want any oozing out, but I don't want to make it dry either. That's a good trainer. It's my dad had one, and it's he enjoyed flying it. There's a lot of YouTubers that have done reviews on them things. Get you a get your real flight simulator too, if you can get it. Even I still use mine. I say that a lot. That's I use mine for trying new stunts and stuff if you don't already have one. I taught my buddy to fly RC after he had self-taught himself to fly helicopters. That was rather easy. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll set this up. The 30-minute epoxy got plenty of working time here. And then I don't know that it's really necessary, but it was the way I was taught was to goop some glue on these strip airline linkages and on the top of it too, where it's going to meet with the airline. I got that. I can sit there. And I'm going to work just a little bit down in this hole. It certainly can't hurt. Yeah, I want to get one. I'm going to go. I'll be in Toledo. And I'm looking forward to talking to the guys up there with the with FR Sky. I'm really leaning towards that as a radio system because I need a new one. My old tactics is they're giving up the ghost on me. They're starting to wear out and they're getting quite old too. Okay. Make sure everything's nice and seated. Again, this plane does not need a lot of throw to move around, so you can get it nice and tight and seal up those gaps the best that you can. Think of this as a second airplane pattern plane. Okay, there's one side done. Can't afford Futaba. I mean, the receivers are just out of this world with it. I can't believe how expensive they have gotten. I was a Futaba guy for a very, very long time too, and then when they got rid of their sport radios, your 6-channel radios and $40 receivers, they priced those sport guys out of the market. That's what I believe. I still have a lot of my Futabas. I still use them. That's probably one of my favorite radios. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and put the just trying to work some epoxy down in the hole here for the strip aileron linkage. And set that aside. No, let's do the really just putting a little bit on the ends here. Yeah, I have an old 8-scale OFNA buggy upstairs with a OS 21 in it. Blackhead, that's pretty vintage stuff. And then I have an original Savage, HPI Savage upstairs. The only upgrades I've made to it are big tires and better steering servo setup. I need to get those out and play with them someday. They're 21's gummed up, and the Savage needs a axle put in it. Last time I played with it, I blew an axle. Okay, so little oopsies here, not a big deal. Yeah, I bought the Savage from a buddy of mine that was in some financial problems. It was a basket case, and I spent way too much money at the local hobby shop putting that thing back together. So it's brand new old stock. Everything in it's like practically brand new except for the chassis. And then that when I lived in Iowa, I had a local hobby shop to me there, and he'd have Wednesday night fun races. So I purchased that. That's where I got that 8 scale off my buggy at, and I'd go down there on Wednesday nights and race for $5. It was a lot of fun. But after that kind of fell through, and I didn't have a place to go race anymore. It just sit around. I should probably sell them, but I got too much stuff into them. So, all right, so that's hinged. So what's next? I'd like to set that thing aside for a half an hour. So, hey, Grant, how you doing? If you guys haven't seen the video I posted this morning, I did get this. I sent Grant a picture because he's a good friend of mine. But I did get the wing covered last night after everything went backwards. Yeah, oh yeah. My addiction, I'm doing better. I used to go through about a 6-pack a day, and I go through 1 or 2 a day. Yeah, it's the only thing that I'm missing is I need Callie didn't send me the other starting bar for the other wing, so I have to get a hold of her and get that coming. I'll do that tomorrow. So let's let that thing sit for a minute, get the fuselage over here, and start cutting some graphics out for the rudder while this has a chance to glue up before I start screwing with landing gear and putting the servo in it. Let me pace myself here. So if you guys have been around since the beginning of this live, you'll know that this thing used to be white, and I need to set this thing up where it won't fall. That'll work. And it also had red scallops on it. And before I ever stripped it, I took a template of the scallops. And I made notes like move up here. Here's the center. So this goes over here. And they were identical from left to right. So yeah, it's very windy out. We had to go up to or down to southern Indiana today to pick up my daughter from her mom's house, and we were having some fun out on the interstate for sure with the van. Me and the wife went. My other daughter stayed home and went to a friend's house. So what we're going to do here is we're going to very carefully cut this out. Now these templates aren't perfect, so I got to kind of fill in the. You live in Northern? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm on near Notre Dame. Okay, I've been there before. I delivered to a hummus truck driver. I delivered to a warehouse right down the street from Notre Dame. That was many, many, many years ago. I live in Union City, Ohio. It's right on the Indiana-Ohio border. It's probably 30 miles north of Interstate 70 on the border. Okay. I'm going to get rid of some of this excess here. This ought to brighten this plane up quite a bit. Yeah, that's what we kind of got today. It stormed pretty bad last night, but nothing real super scary. Okay. Let's see if we need to make any adjustments to our template here. So I need this to kind of meet there. So oh, look at that. That's how it's supposed to go. Okay. So you can see, like when I lined this up, I didn't go all the way up here, so that's why I said more here. And then this thing here, we want to kind of eyeball this rudder straight. That's about right there. Yeah, oh yeah. That's a good flying plane. From what I haven't flown it personally, my dad bought one about 6 months before he passed, and he said he enjoyed flying it. He said the only wink link is the nose gear, that it won't take too much abuse. I'm trying to remember his name, but if you look up FMS Ranger on YouTube here, there's I know I can never remember his name, but his name's in the title of his YouTube channel, and he did a pretty decent review, I thought, of it. Really went into particulars with batteries and stuff. Of course, you're going to know a lot of that already, and if you have a simulator, a lot of the things from your helicopter is going to move over to your airplane, except for your yaw control for pitch. Your forward elevator does this, and an airplane that makes it go this. So the other thing is that something that Leon did. That's the buddy that I taught to fly after he was pretty proficient with helicopters. Was he said that he thought that the planes came in a lot faster than what he expected. So you're kind of used to coming into a hover and setting down. These things, they don't stop moving. So keep that in mind. But yes, the FMS Ranger, I've heard, is a very, very good airplane. All right, so we need covering. I'm not going to be scared to use some covering here because I got 2 of these to make, and then I also got 2 on the rudder, and I got plenty left over. The Apprentice, if you want to go, Horizon's also a pretty good, decent plane too to fly on. Yeah, I mean you're going to get bored pretty quick. That's what happened to Leon. He went from a high wing trainer, and then I think he flew this for a little bit for the speed, and then he went and got himself a cap and an edge and extra. He was kind of into those more aerobatic planes and stuff. He don't fly anymore. He got other interests that he went into, but I know he flew for quite a few years and had quite a few airplanes. But yeah, you'll probably get bored pretty quick because the little bit of experience I got with helicopters, they're pretty fast. I got pretty good with a what was that, a 300 from E-Flight, Blade 300. That was my. So, not to interrupt your conversation here, but I don't know how many guys have seen me do this. This is a piece of glass. This is 1/2-inch glass. You can get this pretty much anywhere. And I just sprayed some Windex down. Now, this isn't real Windex. This is stuff that my wife makes out of a kit, but it's got pneumonia in it, so it works the same. And what you do is you spray some of that Windex down, and then you layer your monocoat over top of it. I'm going to experiment with the Value Hobby covering to see if we can do the same thing. I just haven't had time to get there yet. But then you take a paper towel and you squeeze all the water out. And what the pneumonia does is it just gives a little bit of activation to the. So you still got too much there. I need something a little more pliable, like a squeegee. Yeah, Valiant works. Looks good. I was talking about a apprentice. Those things are a lot of fun too. Even after you're done flying, they're pretty. Or done training. You shut safe off on them and turn the rates up on it, and they can be quite aerobatic for a trainer. Or you can be like me if you ever build your own. You can modify a senior or senorita or whatever trainers are. Everybody should have a trainer. I don't care how experienced you are. I have 3 of them. So now that this is stuck down, it's still kind of moving around a little bit, but that's good enough for what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and set this on there. I don't want to stretch this. I just want to set it on there. And I'm just going to tape it into place in some key areas here, especially on this end. I'm not too worried about adding any extra length to it because it's actually oversized. This can be quite therapeutic. Sitting here cutting templates out. I did it to my pilot Christian Eagle for about a month of weekends. Yeah, I mean that's I'm not a huge Spectrum fan. I got my own reasons for that, but what I will tell you is that the safe technology is pretty dang good, and it can't be ignored anymore. So, I know my wife's got a Pitts, and she has no experience flying whatsoever, but she can fly it, and it's got safe on it. So, let's see what we got going. Yeah, Grant's got it right there. And the other thing is if you do have a local club, which I'm sure flying helicopters you probably do, reach out to those guys, get on a buddy box, feel like what it's like without safe, and from there, figure out where you want to go. Try not to rely on safe too much, because it can inhibit you from learning how to actually fly. Okay, so this might be a little tedious, but I'm just going to come in here and cut this out. All I'm after right now is scallops. I try to make one continuous cut here. I know you guys can't see a whole lot of this, but I try not to lift in the middle of a cut. I know I stopped there, so I can keep going. Yeah, if you're spending time on real fight, it won't take you very long. And like I said earlier, I have two Falcon 56s out in the garage that I need to go through. I looked at them last week. One of them's almost ready to fly. So if you ever want to come down here and get your hands on a old trainer, feel free to come down. No AMA required. I fly at the Greenville Club. So cut right through the tape and down through there, and then we'll go straight up. That should. You might need to do a little slice here or there. Damn, it looks like I'm going to have to do every single one of these. At the points, I'm not surprised. And see, I stopped in the middle of this one, and now they don't connect. Okay. Yeah, they are. I got the scar to prove it. There we go. Scallops. Now we added extra length to this. Now, what I am going to do, this is probably the most important spot right here, is trimming this thing to fit. Now, I kind of remember that being up there like that and coming down through here. So, I'm going to go ahead and trim this guy here. Okay. Maybe we could do that sometime. I would, maybe when crappy weather pokes its head up during the summer months, I can host a party here. I'm going to go real easy on this cut here. I'm going to take it over to the glass since I got an outline now. I want a nice tight fit around this rudder. I like that. That's almost too perfect. Okay. Wet everywhere you're going to cover. Put this down. Remember, take your time. We're in no rush here. This is all about your boys are going to look at you playing at the field, and holy smokes, that looks nice. Okay, so we got Windex down. That'll help keep it moved. But the other thing it's going to do is once this stuff dries and we go over it with a light iron, it won't bubble. So I'm just going to start a little bit of time here. Try not to move it. The longer you let this sit, the better off you will be. Because like I said, the pneumonia in the covering, in the liquid will get you your initial adhesion.